Before we begin, please imagine the bell notification is on and you're subscribed to Huna Stories. People think favoritism is loud. It rarely is. If you filmed our childhood and played it back without commentary, you'd miss it. Two daughters, same schools, same science fairs, same violin recital where neither of us actually wanted to play violin. But if you watched carefully, you'd see the edits. My sister Lena was brilliant. That word followed her like a subtitle. Teachers said it, relatives repeated it, my parents polished it. I was steady. Steady was the word you use when you don't want to compare. When Lena forgot her homework, she was overwhelmed, because gifted minds wander. When I forgot mine, I needed better discipline. When she scored a 94, it was proof of natural talent. When I scored a 96, it was proof that hard work pays off. No one was cruel. That's what made it harder to name. We both got into medical school. Same year, different campuses. My mother cried when Lena opened her acceptance letter. When mine arrived, she hugged me and said, "See? Hard work." Medical school leveled us in ways childhood never did. Anatomy doesn't care about praise. Rotations don't reward adjectives. We both bled into the same hours, same fluorescent exhaustion. We graduated the same week. The dinner where everything shifted was ordinary, too ordinary. My father cleared his throat halfway through dessert. "We've decided to take care of Lena's loans." My fork paused. He continued quickly, as if momentum would soften impact. "She's starting in cardiology. It's competitive. We want her focused." My mother touched my hand. "Yours are manageable, sweetheart. You're good with money. And she deserves it more, honey." Deserves. I nodded. It felt easier than asking what that word meant. No one explained why the same tuition produced different moral outcomes. No one asked how many night shifts I had worked, or how many times I'd eaten cafeteria rice because it was free during overnight call. I drove home that night and opened my loan portal. The number sat there, without emotion. Numbers are fair. They don't prefer your sister. I considered confronting them. I rehearsed sentences in my car, but confrontation requires an audience willing to reconsider. I didn't think mine was, so I redirected. During residency, I applied for a competitive administrative fellowship at our city's largest teaching hospital. It was designed for physicians interested in systems, leadership, clinical operations, budget oversight, strategic planning. It came with institutional loan forgiveness tied to service. I didn't tell my parents, not out of secrecy, out of self-preservation. If I failed, I didn't want it filtered through the language of comparison. Months passed. Lena signed with the same hospital as an attending cardiologist. My parents were ecstatic. "Both our daughters at the same place," my mother kept saying, as if symmetry erased imbalance. Then came the invitation. Debt-free doctor celebration. Gold letters across cream cardstock. Hosted by my parents, extended family, family friends, community physicians, even a few board members they knew socially. I received one too. I went. The venue was a rented hall attached to a country club, round tables, string lights, a slideshow looping Lena's childhood achievements, debate trophies, science Olympiad medals, medical school graduation. My parents stood near the front, greeting guests like benefactors at a gala. Lena looked radiant, relaxed, lighter. Debt-free does that. Midway through the evening, my father tapped his glass. "We are so proud," he began. "Lena has always been exceptional. From the beginning, we knew she would go far." Applause followed. I watched her face as he spoke. She didn't look arrogant, just affirmed. She had grown up inside that spotlight. It probably felt like oxygen. Then something unscripted happened. Near the back of the room, Dr. Hamid, chair of the hospital board, arrived late. He was a family acquaintance. My parents had invited him casually, expecting polite congratulations for Lena. Instead, he walked directly toward me. "Congratulations," he said, loud enough to ripple through nearby conversations. My mother smiled, assuming he meant Lena. He shook my hand firmly. The board was unanimous. Director of Clinical Operations. At your age, that's not common. The room quieted in waves. Lena turned toward us. Dr. Hamid continued, unaware or unconcerned with the atmosphere, and the loan forgiveness package tied to the fellowship, well earned. We need physicians who understand both care and infrastructure. There it was. Clear, public, institutional. Not a family opinion, not a comparative adjective. Authority. My father blinked. Director. I nodded. It was finalized last week. Silence stretched. Not hostile, just recalibrating. Lena spoke first. That's impressive. She meant it, I think, but she was calculating too. Director of Clinical Operations meant oversight of scheduling structures, departmental budgets, resource allocation. It wasn't superior to cardiology, it was parallel power. Dr. Hamid smiled broadly. We're lucky to have both sisters, though I suspect staff will be reporting to one of you more often than the other. A soft ripple of restrained laughter. My mother's face shifted. Not embarrassment, not exactly pride either, something closer to disorientation. The narrative had been interrupted. I didn't make a speech, I didn't correct my father's earlier words, I didn't mention that my loans would now be cleared under the hospital's executive service program. It wasn't a competition, it never had been for me, but it was a correction. The rest of the evening moved awkwardly but politely. Conversations rearranged themselves around new information. Titles matter in rooms like that, so do funding structures. On Monday morning, I signed my first policy memo, approving department-wide staffing changes. A week later, Lena requested a meeting to discuss cardiology resource allocation for her unit. It was professional, respectful. She called me director. I didn't savor it, I noted it. At dinner the following month, my mother said carefully, "We're proud of both of you." The sentence felt edited, revised, late. Favoritism doesn't dissolve because hierarchy shifts, it settles in memory, but its gravity weakens when your worth is no longer waiting for approval. My loans are gone now, so are hers. Different paths, different reasons. In the hospital corridor, my badge reads director. Patients don't know my childhood adjectives. Staff don't care who was called brilliant. Power, I've learned, is quiet when it's real, and dignity doesn't require applause.